Please have a PowerPoint for you. Can you allow me to share, Danielle?
Oh yeah, hang on.
Okay.
I have to go where?
I think if you do participants and then on the bottom right, you can, hold on, let me see if it'll work now. No. I know if you go
allow
to mine.
I think I just did it.
Okay.
Try it, see if it worked. Did I get it?
You did.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Cool.
Wow. And when you go to share your screen on Zoom, you know that you have too many windows open when you can't find what you want to share. Like, hello. Okay. That's like really big, but everybody can see Power Plan, right?
Yes.
Okay. I love it. Well, let's dive in. So, okay. So how many of you all are like planners by nature? Like, I love to plan. Raise your hand. Okay. We're good. All right. Sarah, I didn't see your hand and there's no shame in that. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. Because we're just gonna jump in, but there's no right or wrong to this. Okay. We're going to learn as we go. We're going to have, it's all really, really good. And there's no test because it's your power plan. The importance of planning, if any of y'all were a part of Summit in the spring, well, I guess it was January, Martine Williams did a really good job of talking about planning, the importance of planning. I love this quote, plan your work for today and every day, and then work your plan. That's one of the things Martine said in that training for Summit was, what I love about planning is once I have a plan, then I simply just go execute against it. And it's easier to execute against something that you feel good about that plan being in place. And that's really important. And so that's why the power plan was born, to help you stay focused month to month in your business. Now, it matters because we want to help you cast a vision. We want to help you look up from the day to day. And I'm a doer, right? I love to get all down in the weeds and really be like doing the daily tactical stuff. But if you don't look up, you'll just keep plowing away on the tactical stuff and miss some of the big picture things that you want to accomplish. So this is where you cast a vision that may be for an income goal. You may want to cast a vision for paying off your mortgage. You may be casting a vision for a rank advancement. You may be casting a vision because you want your community of 31 sisters to grow. There are some folks, y'all, that may cast a vision because they simply love all of the products and they want to be the best bag lady they can be. There is no wrong vision. What's wrong is if you don't have one, because then you don't know where you're going to go. Now, you also need to know your why, okay? And it changes. It's going to evolve. Your why as a brand new consultant is going to evolve after you've achieved your jumpstart. And your why when you get to director is going to probably be different than your why when you're driving to executive director, right? I mean, Danielle, you can probably attest to that your why changes. And so I say two things, kind of a mini commercial for your why. Make sure you're in touch with your why, and you can always answer that question. My why is, and this is why it's that. Don't be afraid to ask yourself why a couple of times to peel back the layers, but do the same for your team. That doesn't have a lot to do with the power plan, but help your team stay connected to their why, because that's how they stay. And don't ever be afraid to dream big. And some people are like, oh my gosh, I can't dream that big. Okay, then let's start with a little dream and let's achieve the little dream. And then you're going to have confidence in having a bigger dream and then a bigger dream, right? So we can baby step you into it, or you can just dream big out of the gate, whatever is more comfortable for you. All right, this is what the power plan looks like. There are a lot of lines to fill in, but don't be afraid. I probably get 20 to 30 power plans a month from leaders. You can always send me your power plan. I love to receive them. I love to know what you're working towards. And I get them in all various stages of completeness. And there's no grades for this. I just want you to get comfortable doing it on a monthly basis. As far as a best practice on your power plan, I like to plan or recommend that you plan, say, now for July. So like within 5 days, like 25th of June to July 1st, somewhere in there, you're doing your July power plan. The end of July, you're doing your August power plan. Now, not that I don't accept a July power plan on the 10th of July, I do, but it's just nice to know where you're going before you start the trip, as opposed to starting the trip and then deciding where you're going. Anyway, okay, so let's break it down just a little bit. So this is where it can get a little intimidating, but don't let it. You can work it backwards or forwards. You may say, this month, I want to do 4 parties. So that's going to be your goal. It's going to go in that left-hand column. And then you say, okay, so if I do 4 parties a month for the next 3 months, that creates a quarterly goal, right? Because there are 3 months make up 1 quarter. And then if you want to work the long way, you can say, okay, so then I'm going to do the math on that. But most people like to work yearly and say this year, and it can be fiscal year or it can be calendar year. It's up to you. I like fiscal year because this is where we're starting the recognition year now with June. So if you wanted to break that down, don't be afraid because it's math, but it's not hard. So let's just say that you wanted to do 72 parties in this year, this next 12 months. So you would divide that by 4. That would give you 18 parties as your quarterly goal. So that you're going to fill out those columns, y'all, for every power plan for the year, right? Because the annual goal is always going to be 72 and your quarterly goal is going to be 18 because it's really easily divisible, right? So that makes it really easy. So you've got that kind of filled out. That breaks it down to knowing that your monthly party goal is going to be 6. Now, if you look at that and you're like, okay, that's a little high, that's a little aggressive, then that's okay. Adjust the monthly party goal and work out what you want your year to be. You can work it either way. Again, there's no right or wrong, but set your goal and it should stretch you. It should scare you a little bit. Okay. Otherwise, it's really not a goal. Okay. So I encourage you to do just a little more than you think you can, so you can stretch. Any questions about that? It's really straightforward, especially when you break it down. So that's what this would look like, that first line. So you have your goal. Then when you get to the end of the month, you're going to fill in your actual column. And that's where that number would come in. And then most of my leaders will then just put them in a binder and keep them month to month. And it's really cool to look back on the journey. We also have an annual tracker where you can plug in your actuals and look at it from that either fiscal or calendar year, whatever works for you. So let's break one more down. Let's do a PICA example. So, okay, your goal is 24 PICAs, okay? Break that down to 4, right? Per quarter. And then break it down to 6. Your monthly PICA goal when divided by 3 months in that quarter is going to be 2. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Now, I always have to get on my little soapbox about PICAs here really quickly. Danielle's probably like, yep, I've heard this one before. I'm kind of a stickler about PICAs, and here's why. And even my home office friends are like, oh boy, she's gonna do it again. Like the robe incentive that was $500 for them to qualify and not PICA. Like, don't think I didn't battle for that to be PICA, because you know I did. Because here's the thing. If you're going to sponsor someone that's not going to qualify, then you might have just been wasting your time. And I don't mean any disrespect when I say that, but I mean that there is value in the PICA. We reward you with a PICA product credit when you do that. We also know that when they become PICA, when they qualify, they're going to stay in the business longer. They are going to be more successful, and the odds of them being a kidnapper are slim to none once they've qualified. It's like the floodgates have opened. So really look at how you sponsor and how you set them up for success. Like my successful consultants do their launch party within 10 days of enrolling. What date do you want to do yours? Boom. All right. Now at your launch party, who's going to book future parties for you? We're looking for 2 or 3 people. Write down those names, right? Hold them accountable to qualifying, because that's when they'll see like, oh no, I just wanted the product, but wait, I can earn product. I can earn product credits. Wait, I just got a paycheck. So, okay, I'll jump off I think y'all get it. But anyway, Pika. Yeah, Danielle's like, got it. Okay. All right. So that's what this looks like on your power plan. And again, it's okay to adjust your goal each month, because we have seasons, right? We have seasons in our life where you're teaching school, you're working at the school, you've got whatever your life is, right? My daughter got married last July. Well, that was a season, right? There just wasn't as much time to do all the other things that I like to do. Wasn't a lot of boating then, Danielle, I'll just say. So either way, allow for the seasons to be a part of your power plan, right? If you know that your October, November are going to be crazy good, then you can load those months a little differently than maybe you're going to load June, or maybe you're going to load July. So give yourself the flexibility, but don't take your eye off the long-term goal. All right, this is the part I love. I appreciate numbers. I value them. They tell a story. They're not good or bad numbers. Numbers just tell a story. They're just a factual thing, right? But you know, I'm a coach at heart, and I love when we create meaning and we create feeling by putting our thoughts on paper with words. So it's really important that you identify what you are excited about this month and why, and stay close to that. Identify your mindset going in. If you sit down to do your power plan and you are having a bad day and your mindset is crappy, please stop doing your power plan and do it tomorrow, because it just won't set you up for success. Mindset's huge. I will continue to, what's working, fill that in. And just as important as what you'll continue to is what you will stop doing. These answers range from, I will stop being a tow truck to my team. These answers are, I will stop worrying about the things I can't control and control what I can. I will stop caring more about my teammates' success or my team members' success than they do, right? I will stop is kind of freeing. And then I will start is often a flip side of that. I will start working with the people who want it. I will start taking control of what I can. I will start doing the do, whatever that is. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's your answer, but it's really helpful. And then the celebration of your success is huge. I love reading these. I love to know when you've celebrated the success. Have an accountability partner. Say to Danielle, I'm going to celebrate my success this month by having a massage when it's all said and done. Yes, we had lots of massages, by the way. There you go. Yep. We have had ice cream parties. We have had a glass of wine with their spouse, right? I mean, it doesn't matter again, right, wrong. The answer is yours, but make sure you're celebrating your successes. And those can be big or small. Okay. Thinking about messaging is really important. We can get really overwhelmed thinking we need to be all things to all people, thinking that we need to get messaging to the masses, right? And so you do want to stay connected, but there are 3 groups that are truly directly connected to your success in this business as an independent consultant and as a leader or an aspiring leader. Your relationship with your insiders and your communication with her is paramount. Because again, if you're not driving your business with parties, then your team does not have anybody to follow. And the pace of the leader is the pace of the pack. So first is insiders. How many of them are there this month? And what is the most important message I can get to them? And how frequently will I do it? And then your new consultants, because why? Well, Pika, of course. So what are you going to say to them How many of them are you working with? And here's where, and I said this in the web or the Facebook Live I was just on with Carrie's team. You as a leader need to make a connection with your people and nurture their spirit, invite them to the sisterhood, encourage them and challenge them. Resource what we're giving you to support them in training, to support them with incentives, with the perks, with the programs. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to do fun things. It just means that you don't have to do a how-to guide walkthrough, because we're doing a how-to guide walkthrough twice a month and the recording is always available. Don't give them a how-to guide of yours, give them our how-to guide and have them walk through it and meet them halfway. So wherever they are in the journey, part of your key messaging is plugging them into what we're doing and then supporting them through it. Asking them, what was your takeaway? And then what are the actions you're going to take? And how can I hold you accountable to that? So you're supporting their journey, but you're not responsible for their journey. You can send them to us for some of those things, like Jumpstart. Then your high-performing leaders, or this could be your emerging leaders if you have a young team. These are the folks that are doing the duplicatable actions that you're doing. These are the folks that you're bringing along. These are the folks that you want to empower, meaning you want to teach them to do it themselves and feel great about it, not enable to be dependent on you, because we want them to become independent leaders who bring independent leaders. And so the messaging to them is really important. Any questions so far? It doesn't look like put you all to sleep. So, okay, we'll keep moving on. All right. And you may have heard a little bit once or twice about connected contacts. There's a reason that it's a part of the power plan, because we cannot ever take our eyes off the ball of connected contacts. It's fundamental. It's foundational. When in doubt, when in a slump, there is nothing that a connected contact or 12 won't fix, because it'll get you the bookings. It'll probably get you a sponsoring conversation, but more important than either of those things, it will connect you with humans who need to hear from you. Because I'm telling you, Sarah, there are people you're going to reach out to that that need to hear from you specifically, that someone else can reach out to, and they're simply not going to be touched by that person because they need to hear from you. And so that's so important that you keep your connected contact sheet up to date. That's a living, breathing thing that you're filling it out and filing it and going back to it for follow-up and starting a new one, but that you are touching human lives and offering a little bit of you, a little bit of 31, and creating solutions for them. So top tips, do it consistently every month. Even if it feels uncomfortable, do it anyway. Even if it scares you, do it anyway. Y'all, it is a piece of paper. There is no fear, and we are here to support you every step of the way. Ask for help. Reach out to your sideline, your sponsor, reach out to me, Mark, Julie. We are here to support you, and we want you to win with this. You're going to be learning as you go. Your power plan that you're going to fill out in December is going to be different than your power plan that you're going to fill out in July. And that's the way it should be, because we're learning all along the way and we're adjusting behaviors as we go. So you're going to have folks that are going to come along in the business, and maybe somebody isn't going to peak it, and you're going to go, okay, let me think about this. Let me think about how I reach this Pika goal I set. What behaviors do I need to adjust to hit my goal? We'll adjust and ask for help there too. We all have blind spots, y'all. I have blind spots, and I have trusted friends that I can go to and say, what am I missing? Because I know I'm missing something. What am I missing? And I love having those conversations, because that's how I learn from those trusted folks that I can go to and seek help from. And then your business will grow. It will grow. What you focus on will expand. It will. So if you're focusing on, this is my vision, this is my dream, this is my why, this is what I want to achieve. It's not going to happen overnight. Going to have to do the do. But when you do it, and y'all, you can do it in your part-time, you can do it in your spare time, you can do it in your full-time, but you have to do it. And when you do, your business will absolutely grow. I think that maybe thought that was my last slide. What questions do y'all have? Hopefully I didn't bore you.
I think that was very beneficial. I had kind of looked at this before. I like the part about your audiences. I think that's really good, especially with the high performing leaders where, as you get further along in leadership, you empower them, you don't support them. I worked in the automotive industry as a leader for a few years, and you're right. You can't just give them the stuff. It's that old adage, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
Yes, exactly. Teach them to fish. You got it.
I like your shirt, Shannon. Sarah, were you going to say something? I think you.
I love
Sarah,
that shirt
unmute, because I think you look like you wanted to say something too. Go for it.
Yes, I wanted to say thank you for bringing up the connections, lead connections. That is something that I have been working on. And I've reached out to, I think I said 20 more people when I was talking to you, Danielle, earlier today. And I'm waiting to hear back from them. So I gave it a day. I'm giving it a day, and then I'm reaching out back to them again, and then adding 10 more people. So I'm working. I'm new, but I am working. And I got all you wonderful ladies to help me.
Oh, good for you. Good. And your enthusiasm will speak volumes. So just share what you love and make those connections, and good things will happen.
Yeah, Sarah is new. Proud of you for getting comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's exactly what that is. And I know when we talked the other day, you were like, okay, well, I'm going to do 10 today, and then maybe I'll do 10 in a few more days. And the ladies on here can all testify. You got to just keep going. You've got to know that you're going to get ignored. You're going to have a whole lot of ignores, and you're going to follow up with those later, but you're going to keep moving. So yes, Angie, thank you so much for touching on that. I think, so this isn't a question, but I think something that I just want to I'm going to jump on her Pika soapbox too.
Come on.
Mine's a little different twist, but I know that Angie would agree too, is make sure that you're always differentiating your goal of what you're going to recruit versus how many are going to Pika. So as much as like Angie is saying, we're always looking for that quality, right? Like we're looking for that, but that doesn't mean you're going to get some that this isn't for them. They jumped on for a different reason. And I will testify, some of you know my ear and how I've had to be super transparent. Angie, I don't know if I've told you this yet. We've talked a lot, but I don't know if this is something that we've talked about lately, is that I had an amazing year with recruits. I had like 50 recruits, but I only had like 16 Pikas. And I got super comfortable because mine were just coming through the funnel, as you guys know. You guys have all heard me say this. So I wasn't doing my job. I wasn't actively asking and looking for that quality girl all the time. And, I'm giving myself grace too, because it wasn't home parties anymore. And I used to be so good at that at home parties and Facebook parties. But just like anybody else, I have to learn and grow. And now I'm on a mission this year that I'm like, I am personally going to be getting 50 recruits that I asked that didn't just jump in my lap, right? Like if I get those 2 bonus, some of those are going to come along. So I just really want you guys to know that the stats are still going to be there, that you're probably going to get half of your Pikas to Pika.
Sure.
Like or somewhere, right? Like you're going to know what yours are. You're going to have to watch that. But just keep that in mind. I don't want you to think, because then it's easy to get discouraged for some of you too. Like I know Ariel's some of you that are just starting, and even Tammy, like you can testify. You've recruited how many and how many have actually Pikaed, right? And I guarantee you,
I'm free.
Right, and I can guarantee you've been down in the valley about that before, where you're like, oh my gosh, nobody's doing it. And that's why you've got to ask and ask. And I know Tracy's shaking her head. My leaders are all like, yes, Shannon will testify. She's, recruited a bazillion and how many found. So.
Well, and Danielle, you said something there that I think you're exactly right. Somebody said to me years ago, You can say all of the right things to the wrong person, it will matter. You can say all of the wrong things to the right person and they will fly. But if you don't say anything, right? So just like you said, like you got to fill the funnel. You've got to have those people to talk to, but you've got to have the conversation with everyone. They won't all say yes, that's okay. But if you're not having the conversation, then that definitely changes the outcome. You're exactly right.
Kind of piggybacking off that too, one thing I was going to say is doing the connected contacts and stuff. Be consistent, because I was telling Danielle and Tracy, I have a girl that I have been talking to for 1.5 years about having a party. And I posted something on my VIP group. It was about, I don't remember what it was. It was about laundry, I think, what time of the day you do laundry. And we were just kind of going back and forth. And I took it to Messenger and said, hey, you want to have a party? And she said, sure, let's do one in August. And she's not working right now. So I'm going to wait until it gets closer to time to her party. And I'm going to see if she wants to use that party as her launch, because she's been interested about it in the past, but then she had things going on in her personal life and stuff. So I think that coming up, this is going to be a good time. But seriously, I have probably asked her 5 or 6 times over the last 1.5 years to party, and I've sent her information about joining. So don't get discouraged, because that one time you ask is going to be the time that they decide that they say yes.
Yeah, so true.
Danielle?
Tracy, can you feel me staring at you?
I was just going to ask you, how many times did you ask me?
Oh, I don't even know. So Tracy is now a director, Angie, and she partied with me so many times. And I asked her, I'm not even kidding, probably 20 times. The girl was in my opportunity events left and right and left and right. And
look at her now. She's, you guys, you all that are on my team know she is flying as a director and selling.
Just graduated Accelerate?
Yes,
Yep.
8, 9, 10,000. So she is a perfect example. What if I hadn't kept asking her? What if I
Right?
hadn't kept,
Right?
I wouldn't be here.
Right, exactly. And you wouldn't be here either, Tammy. Exactly. Look at the ripple effect. Oh, that gives me chills, right? Like that's the whole butterfly effect there, right? Like look at
it is. Sarah, you made me think of like that you keep reaching out and you are comfortable being uncomfortable. And there's this analogy, you've probably heard it about, you're sitting in a gym and there are 1,000 red plastic cups that are upside down. And under those cups, somewhere in the 1,000 cups are 100 yeses. How fast are you going to turn over those cups to get to the yeses?
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
your connected contact list. Yep.
That's a powerful analogy. Love it.
It is.
Yes. Such a great visual. Love it.
It is. And you wouldn't think twice. Like we would all be dying to flip over every one of those cups to get to those yeses. So I want you to think about your contact list exactly the same way.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
I would be that crazy, clumsy cat.
I like that way too. No. That's good.
Well, Angie, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for doing this, Angie. It was awesome.
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course. I love it. Yeah.
Yep. I love the breakdown. I knew that everybody needed to kind of hear it, and always great to hear from someone else. And those of you that are you're all in the Shoot for the Moon. Heather has been talking a lot about, if you guys haven't seen her 2 live videos, that this exact same thing basically. And she's offered to kind of hold you accountable this month. She's offered to do some math with you and really work on that too. So make sure that you take her up on that offer. Get these filled out. I know some of you are working on Punta Cana still. Some of you are interested in Texas, right? So there's lots to look at. And so we really want to match those goals to that. So get it done. And, the last but not least, the other thing I wanted to add is the part where she's talking about where the mindset stuff, you guys, that is so powerful. That is the number one thing I can say if someone were to just say, what's the number one thing I could do to have the year that you just had, Danielle? And I would absolutely just say it was my mindset, and I believe in manifestation. Like, it's literally, I've surrounded myself with powerful people and positive people and positive books and powerful thinking and people like Angie who are, you know, posting the great quotes and just keeping my mindset where it needs to be. And that doesn't mean that everything's rainbow and sunshine either. Like, I don't want people to think that. I've had plenty of days that Shannon's heard me cry, literally, and Tracy, right? Like, boo-hoo me, because whatever. But it's what you do in those next couple of days still, right? Like, you let yourself, I have a great friend who tells me, my mentor tells me 5 minutes. I get to be mad for 5 minutes. He doesn't want me wallow more than that, right? You guys all know that's Toby. But the point is it's literally those, putting those dreams down, talking about what you're going to stop doing, focusing on what you think you're bad at doing, listening to the red lights going on in your brain versus the green lights, and all of that stuff matters with these numbers. It's so easy to get to that part and just go, oh yeah, I'll do that later. Or, you know, that is an important step. Don't skip it.
Yeah.
Positive mindset is everything, Danielle. You know, I've told you that before. That's what got me through breast cancer 17 years ago. And I'm telling you, it gets you through a lot of hard stuff in life.
Absolutely.
And Angie,
So
I want to
true.
thank you too for the Drive to Director group. I love that group. You guys are fantastic. And I'm so excited about all the stuff we're going to be doing in there. I called Tracy right after we had our first meeting and said, oh, I got to tell you all this stuff. And then we were talking about when we met up last week, and I'm so excited about it. It's just, there's so much wonderful information there and so many great people.
Yeah, I am excited too. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow. Jen Stouting is our newest team member, and she has been so behind the scenes. And I'm like, no, with Drive to Director, my friend, you are going to be out there. So she's doing the first training tomorrow. So definitely give her some love for me, if you will. And I'll tell her, I mean, we'll all be in and out, but you'll see Jen first tomorrow for the first training. And she's so excited. We're really fired up about the program, primarily because just what you said, the audience, the amazing people, they are hungry. Not everybody wants to be a director. That's okay. They can do their pace. They can do exactly what they want to do. But for those that want to do it, we are going to be showing up, and we can't wait.
And I also have to say, I appreciate the way you all handled that whole situation last weekend. Kudos to you, because I worked in corporate America, and I've seen it where they just kind of let it get brushed aside. And even in education field, you all handled it with such grace, and it was just so perfect. The note that Mark put out there, and then the statement you did, and the video. And I just have to tell you, I as soon as I saw that note, I shared it with Danielle and Tracy, and I said, this is a good company. This is what an excellent company does. They, take it head on, and they say, this is what it is. And if you're not comfortable with it, I just have to say, I was just so impressed with the way you guys handled that.
Thank you. Because my Shoot for the Moon group was a group right away that a lot of them in here are in that group, or we're just getting in that group. And it was handled beautifully. I was so excited to see it as well. So I agree. Thank you.
You got it. Of course. Thank you for having me. Please connect with me on Facebook if you haven't already. Just stay close and know that we are here cheering you on. We're here to support you every way we possibly can.
Thank you so much for doing
this. Much, greatly appreciate it. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Shannon.